Actually, I should say. Bottom corner of the screen. There it is. Just hit 3 o'clock. Just hit 3 o'clock.
Okay. It's 3 o'clock. Call meeting order. Says here that my agenda introduce new members and alternates.
Don't have any.
We don't have it. So, we'll, get the publication.
Was noticed properly.
Might want to move the agenda to publication.
And move to the agenda.
Your second on that?
I'll second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Might look at the minutes. Might want to add anything to it or make the motion to approve them as they're printed.
I'll move to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second it.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we got the Westford petition first.
This one was the one that was postponed from last month. She was here. She actually called and asked to put it off till slightly. So we're just setting that one aside for now.
Somebody want to make a motion to postpone it?
She said till fall. We'll wait until.
Until she said probably fall.
We will, yeah, I'll move to postpone until further contact is made with the office.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. So we'll go to the petition. Town of Buena Vista. Explain to us what you need.
Just trying to get a small addition onto my current shed. Just that for space. That's right now.
How close does that come to your septic?
Septic's are.
It has to be.
Do you hear anything? Done. Fine. More discussion, questions on this?
No, my only thing is down in the future. Maybe we'll learn more about that if we go to this training. Adjusting some of our, that's county rule or state mandated rule, of some of the rules that we have in place.
This comes from our county ordinance. I don't know how old this after other.
Do we know how old that is?
Sandy.
No, I would move to approve the variance.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Brad.
Thank you. One of these I saw a. Let's get this.
That's took them out, put it back in.
No, I got the right one, but there, one of them had a variance already on, I thought. Am I reading that right?
That was the one, there was a variance at the time it was built. And I actually went to the attorney and asked if he's wanting to add on, do we need an additional variance? And he said, especially since it specifically stated the dimensions of that structure, and now we're pointing on it.
That's this one we just approved.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't find it again.
Already exceeded 70%.
And that's what makes me like, okay, so. Yeah. All right, Marshall, that's where we're at, right?
So,
Well, I guess we're coming to the meeting to discuss,
you want to come up here?
oh, yeah, I can come there.
Closer. We're not gonna bite.
Oh, yeah, right. I wish we're sure we're supposed to sit. So we're coming petitioning for variance for, showing within the setback of 75 feet of the shoreline. Reason we're doing this, like some call it, this repair, we have foundational issues, cracking, old limestone foundation. Basically, the cost to repair the house are probably more expensive than us building a new house, so we're looking to try to build inside the variance. The existing house already is within the 75 feet anyways. I had provided Jen and Noel the map to show where the house would go, setbacks from the stream, setbacks from the property lines.
I could just, look in one piece in our shoreline zoning ordinance. 35 feet is the closest you can get to the stream, and that 35 feet, from where the edge of the water is out is supposed to remain a vegetative buffer. It looks like there's a couple of trees there right now, but not too much vegetation, so we wouldn't really be changing that.
We'll also be looking to do the slab foundations. We're not gonna be disturbing any soil. We'll actually be building up to get us a elevated area above the stream, so.
Do they have a determined normal high water mark on that stream?
Get ours been unresponsive,
Yes,
calling 6 times to get hold of them. Look at it. and-
after you guys, after you got a call back, so.
So building a new house across from where the stream is now, we could stay living in the existing house until the new is built.
Elevation wise, the new house will be as high or higher than the other, I mean, I'm just worried about if that stream ever comes up in weather like we're having, 14-inch rains like we had a few years ago.
Yeah. So I've been out there for 20 years. I've never seen the creek come out of the banks there. I've had to maintain the tube there forever in the driveway, never had any issues that way. I mean, in all honesty, I know that the rules of the navigable stream, the kayak, the canoe thing, I could go set a kayak on top of the sides of the creek bed and it would not even touch the water. The creek bed is about this wide in spots, so. But yeah,
It's probably an unnamed.
yeah, no, it's not neat.
I think I could jump on this if I drove out to look. See if they were. I
Yeah,
think I could jump.
it's wider in certain spots, but certain spots it's so small that, yeah. I don't even know if it could measure 6 or 8 inches wide in some spots, so.
I'm uncomfortable though about the non-responsive DNR part of it.
We didn't submit anything in writing and I don't know, maybe that's what they require, but
Well, I worked through Mike Williams directly, got Jen Noel direct me there. Mike said that he is not like, he has been boots on the ground to go do some of that stuff, but he said realistically, he gave me a name of, I can't remember the gentleman's name in the Madison office that handles the wetlands, shoreline stuff, and he literally does not even call me back. So I just gave up at one point. I'm just like, no, he's just that swamped. That sounds like it is for Mike, that he's just that busy.
I think it's important for you to know where that high water is.
Yeah,
Because you said you're gonna raise it up, but how high? How high should you raise it?
well, I mean, in all honesty, I don't need to raise it at all. I've been there I moved there in 07. It's old family farmhouse. I mean, I've been there through all the storms. It's never even once even came over the bank towards my driveway, let alone on the other side of the creek. It's never. The way the creek comes, it actually comes at my house. So we'll be on the other side of that, so we'd be safer than we would be even on our current side. Where some of the erosion does take place when we get, good amount of water coming down the valleys.
And it looks like, are you putting a new septic over on the other side, that side of the creek?
That would be the plan.
Yep.
yes.
That part?
We have not explored that, I don't.
Okay, I mean, you don't want to get too far ahead if you're not gonna get.
I didn't want to order perks and,
Yep.
for what reason
Yep.
until I know.
But it looks like family member owns adjoining property,
Yes.
so in the future, our biggest concerns have become small acreages, septic failure. 25, 30 years down the road, past some of our time, not sure.
Right. My parents own the land before,
Yep.
so should a perk require additional area, that's not gonna be a concern.
I have concerns about this. It's so close to the street.
So there's a couple things I'd like to know. Number one, we're proposing to go further away from the stream than we currently are. We don't have issues, so I understand what you're saying. Secondarily, we're also putting this as something that we really need to do because Jenny, my fiance, has MS. And
One level.
yes, we need the one level. So that is not really something that we wanted to bring to this meeting, but
If you turn
Yes.
that house. Look at there. Taylor, Galloway Road. If you turn that a little bit. How far can they be on the back property line? That's not one of the 10-foot ones, is it? Like we did last month?
I think on the rear residential is supposed to be 40.
So over here, that's not mom and dad's property over here.
no, and we wouldn't be looking to turn that way. That would be the front side of the house.
I would just, if you turned it and slid it back as far as you could, you might. How many feet are we lacking? Be within,
Should be 75 feet.
So the map wetlands doesn't come that far up. It's kind of further down the road where they have wetlands. So it's just a matter of if that stream is actually navigable or not, which if it's not navigable, we wouldn't. move it here.
So say that again about the map wetlands, that there isn't a map available?
No, the map wetlands stop before our driveway even starts. So it's further down the road.
The
We're not,
floodplain and the wetland indicators in the soil both show further downstream. So they're just above, a little bit above where the actual floodplain is.
So then how is this determined?
Because it's still a mapped stream. So the elevations too, those come into play with the floodplain. So you don't have to require 2 feet above a certain elevation in this case. So you guys.
Marky, thoughts? I would have to agree as well that it is kind of, I worked for the DNR for 15 years, but I was in the Division of Forestry, but I know we had a policy, you had to return emails or phone calls within 48 hours. Some type of contact. Yeah. But we don't have anything in our,
I did get, I don't remember exactly what I had sent him at the time. I think it was before plan change to be on the other side of the street. But when we were questioning navigability, I reached out to the DNR and I got a basically one-line response that said, yes, it's navigable. So. Didn't pursue
Well-
much further than that. I don't know exactly what information, like you said, I know they're busy.
there are
I
road
did
ditches
get
that are
information
navigable
from
today.
them that they consider it there.
Because you can float a canoe or kayak
Yeah.
in a road.
yeah, if they're assumed navigable unless proven.
It's annoying.
Any suggestions from Jim?
Not a heavy travel road either.
Doesn't appear to.
Yeah, dead end road, last house on the road, last true residence.
Yeah, they say that's a dead end, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, my dad's been out there since he was a child. And we know the water situation out there. There's never been a flooding issue up and over those banks there.
Your grandpa would have been Wayne, right?
Yep.
Okay, I knew Wayne. Back, he had sail up there, and 1 year ago, like that, say,
Yep.
where you're talking.
Did you explore?
I'm pretty sure that was it.
Sorry, did you explore maybe acquiring some additional property to see if you can get further away from?
Well, there's always complications to that. First off, I mean, number one, we're trying to keep this at a minimum, cost minimum because of the need for us to have it. And partially as well as, you know, we're taking down a house that has monetary value just to get us in a house that serves one level, which best fits her needs. I mean, so, you know, we're not really looking to acquire land because it pushes us further away from the road. Be more excavating spent, more driveway costs, more electrical costs. I mean, so, I mean, that could be another $50,000 or $75,000, you know, easily to make those things happen, so. And across the creek, it honestly presents the very best build site because it's perfectly flat. It's not gonna be any issue, and we don't have to do any excavation other than pouring topsoil and building up some clean stone to create a good slab for.
Think the old house and the new house are about the same.
I would say by the time it's built up, I mean, the existing house has a basement. I mean, I've never had any water issues in the basement, you know, other than, you know, where I'm talking about the cracked portions of the foundation. But yeah, I would probably say they're pretty dang close, especially by the time we build up, because I intend on going up a couple feet, you know, to elevate this anyway, so.
Does Galloway end there at your driveway?
Yeah, the only thing that's there is we have a neighbor that owns 40 acres. He bought off the family, that he's just got a hunting cabin there. So
And
we're,
that road is not township, or looks like a 2-track that goes past the house.
yeah, it's just like a shale driveway. Cover. I mean, we're the only last living residents on the road.
So how far would they have to be, if that's not a town road or county road? How far do you think they gotta be from the property line? 70?
20 feet. That's just a turn. So it'd just be up. I think the
The township.
setbacks are
Township.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is not a town road.
right, so just property line.
20 feet, if you guys were able to move. Turn that. How are you gonna, presently, how do you think it'd get in through here? Right away.
That would ultimately probably be the plan is.
Because now you can be within 20 feet of this property line. If you could turn this, move it as close as you, within 20 feet of there. Would we be able to get, see what I'm talking about, Shirley?
I don't think we would get the 75 feet.
If they turned that and got within 20 feet of property. Yeah, you're still only probably, here you would gain here, but you're still only good, even if you gain.
I try to orient it in a few different ways. Yeah, it's just, you don't get much past about 50, about the most you get. And it's really turns it in a fashion. We don't want to turn the house only because of like where the kitchen and great room are and stuff. It's just like, we'll have the hill right in front of us and we won't get any sunshine in through the main part of the house. Seems like a small reason, but it does matter.
Oh, no, we haven't had one like this.
You know, and you would think it'd be important to the DNR if I call anytime, but he clearly either A, is too busy or does not care enough to even make a phone call, basically going, is what it is. I don't know if he's just saying it's so small that it doesn't matter or what's going on, but I mean, to call numerous times and not get a response.
There's a pretty good chance we wouldn't even be sitting here asking for this variance if they wouldn't come out and.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, I mean, if you were out there, you see the stream, it is just not much. I mean, there is times of the year, in all honesty, where that, if we get a dry enough year, that creek, that is dry as well. There is not a drop of water in it. It's not even a spring generated. Creek, it's
Mostly
more
raw.
runoff, right?
Is there any?
Get involved. Yeah. Like I said, I did get an answer, so I have somebody that has at least looked at the site.
But not, they look good.
Right, right. The map's the same way.
Well, we could do something.
I mean,
If another month, how much is that gonna push you guys back if we,
well, our goal is to have been in there by winter, and I mean, we're already, you know, starting to push on that, you know, I mean, by the time I get permitting submitted, probably takes another, I mean, that's what I do is build, it's probably another month out just to get permitting, you know, and then to get contractors in there, get my concrete guy and start this process.
I would just hate to approve something that DNR comes in behind us and says, why?
That's the purpose of the variance though, is to bypass that. Isn't it?
Well-
Except for we're accountable for that decision. So they could, it's possibly could require you to remove your structure. That would be.
If we grant basically an illegal variance, yes, it could be called.
Where I stand with it basically is if I have to keep chasing this down, I'm just not gonna pursue it. I'll just sell the house and go on somewhere else because I've already got held back. This is not because it's anybody's fault here, but there's more needs than just one or two things. It's a house that, you know, either I'll step away from and sell and do the repairs as necessary to get it good enough for sale and move on. Because the importance to us is to get her in a one level home as well as, you know, have this house fixed properly. But I'm not willing, I've been there for 19 years, I've stuck enough money into it, I'm not willing to stick more money into myself to just keep living in it. You know, I've remodeled it, what do I say, twice over already. You know, and now we got foundational issues, so. The sentimental value of having a family farmhouse isn't necessarily worth it sometimes.
And Jen, the current structure is closer than. Were you out there? Did you measure the distance from the?
It's about exactly 35.
That's what I thought you originally
It's
said.
it's about exactly 35 feet.
And if it was, see, we've done that for my neighbor, tore down two sheds, too close to Highway 60, but he's putting them no closer than they were. This could be a different scenario. I mean, if you were putting it back on top of the same area, now that we're moving, in my opinion, if you're moving to a new area, but this, my neighbor was putting it back no closer than the old structure,
Well,
putting buildings back where there were buildings.
and that was part of our plan at one point was to
Yep.
try to do that, but the problem became, okay, well, you either have to go rent somewhere or, you know, move out temporarily while you demo the
Yep.
house, come up with some other plan. You know, was it's obviously gonna be a lot easier for us to be right there, be able to build, get set up in the new house and then make the transition and then have it happen more.
What do you think, Tom?
Been here quite a few years, this is the first time I've ever run into something quite like this.
I know what, that's what I say, and we don't wanna be wrong.
No, no. Granted variances and lucky he never come back and audit us, but hate to give a guy a variance and then have it fall apart, come back and take us all. But that's the part that's,
And I'm empathetic to their reasons too. I'm just concerned about without DNR involved.
well, some of the floodplain, they play in the floodplain, is just quite crazy. My mother lived in a house that was completely a floodplain. I've lived for over 70 years, never seen the house have more water around it.
And that's the reality situation. I mean, I don't know how many inches of rain we had in the last couple of days. We could drive out there right now and you would see the stream is about yay deep. So,
You wonder where they come up with their floodplain. Yeah, really.
You know what that is, floodplain, or is it just shoreland stream setback? I don't think it's.
Pull up the maps you guys want.
I don't know where they come up with the criteria.
You can bring it up on the big screen, okay, she'll pull it up for us.
Yeah, it's the proximity to the stream. I don't think it's.
No, and I don't even know. You say our rules or their rules, DNR. A lot of times we dealt with normal high water mark, ordinary high water mark. term to use. But then we also have floodplain. I mean, the campus areas, a lot of it's in floodplain.
This is the floodplain. The floodplain itself stays down. I think this is Horse Creek. It's even go on Conway. So then. There's one little possible indicator up here. There are possible indicators and then the entire soil wetland. So again, it starts south of.
So when you say that there's an indicator, what is that?
I don't know exactly.
Soils.
Yeah, that they're holding on to water.
Yeah, they're saturated soils. I heard so. Okay.
But then
There could be
line-
plant indicators, there could be. It's all. There's that one, look, can you zoom in about?
Yeah. There's one up north there. The stream itself shows that it starts up in. And that's in street with the white dashes. Those are the tools that we use when we're looking at this, is trying to figure out.
And so where that indicator is, Steve? What was that in relation to?
There's a house, they want to build it.
So the indicator is upstream? Or is there an indicator right, yeah?
Way up
There's
there.
an upstream. You know,
Can you click on that? I mean, some of that stuff you can click on, it'll tell you when it was identified. I'm just curious.
Hmm.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how some of these maps are even derived, because if you zoom back in there, the house to the right of us, which is my grandparents' secondary home after they moved out of the house I'm in, has a stream that has more erosion, it's closer to the creek than we are.
It probably depends on what year that was constructed too.
So, well, and I mean, there's a stream that clearly runs in there and feeds into the second branch down below us. The stream runs right, if you see to the right there, you see the white shed in the house and then the cabin up to the right.
Yeah.
The stream that runs right between those two that feeds into a tube right past the bend of our driveway.
So what is that right there to the right, be on the right side of the stream? That white shed there. That's gotta be within what, 20 feet of the stream?
Oh,
This one?
the house up there, yeah, just above there, that's within closer to the stream than we are, I can guarantee you that. That's a creek that never even dries up, so I don't know how they come up with their mapping on this stuff, but.
It sets, I'm guessing it looks like it sets up a little higher. No, almost level with the stream.
Probably lower than us.
This is the other street stuff. Okay. You look at it from there, it looks like that house is a lot closer than the old farmhouse.
One that you can imagine, my grandma owned whole top half of that valley back then. It didn't matter where property lines were, if you want to put a house down, you just put it down.
How old is that house roughly? I'm just curious.
That house would be, well, like, that's 91, so it's all of about 40 years now. They moved over there just a few years before he passed. I've looked into so many options with this old place. I've even considered trying to lift it up. But to be honest, as they say, my grandpa and grandma were land rich and cash poor. Everything that was ever attached to that house was not constructed well. So even like lifting this house up and trying to redo the foundation, my level of confidence of it, it's sustaining its structure is not good. So like, I just kind of threw that one out the window, because I was trying to consider it as basically a way of like keeping it around as part of the family, and it just became, it's not worth it. My dad told me when the addition by the shed was added on, my grandpa and grandma used windows from the chicken for the living room area.
It's like it's been added on to a few times.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, the sad part is one of the most failing parts of the foundation is the newest addition. The whole, you can just look right down the wall and it just leans in about 2 inches. Cracks all over, and my uncle Ken did it, had bolts and hardware plates keeping it in place, because like, I don't know if they backfill too soon or what, but. It's just worsened over the years.
They must have to get variances back then, so add on.
Or not.
Or not,
Yeah. Sometimes we just.
Yeah. I know I'd feel more comfortable with a yay or nay from the DNR, or even a response, other than you got a response that said it was Nabble. But can you read us what our ordinance says? Please? Or bring it up there? Most of them go like the one in front of you.
Right. Yeah, I wish he would answer me, but I got.
No, I know.
I got to the point of like, how many voice messages can I leave and not even get the courtesy of a phone call? I'm like, this is ridiculous. Mike answered my phone call right away, and he's the one that referred me to him. I don't even remember what his name is. Oh, it's on the website.
Written communication, I would expect to get.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just not even, it's not even common, not even courtesy to not even at least.
And how many how many counties does this person have? Used to be they had 3 or 4 counties, each one of them.
Yeah, I don't.
Building setbacks.
Where we require 70 feet, 2 side, or 1.
So that's what we need to know is what is the.
Yep.
ordinary.
If that's what the ordinance says, that's what we. Yeah.
So that's different than the
So then
shoreline.
reducing principal structure setback.
What's that, Jen?
There's this section here on reducing principal structure. So this is what we're looking at to say the absolute minimum is the 30.
We don't know where the ordinary high water mark is.
Well, it says the average. How far is it on the other end of the building, where it's farther away of the new house, hotel?
Oh, well, I mean, like,
'Cause to me, I just read the word average.
the far end of the new structure, well, that would be another 70 feet.
So 70 and 35 is 105 divided by 2 for your average. I mean, highlight that again, John, please. Says the average. Correct? Right here. The average setback shall not be reduced to less than average setback. So to me, you're averaging
Yeah.
all the setback, right?
Like, if one was 50 and the other one was 100, 75 be the average. See,
So I think that presents some possibilities.
Well, that doesn't mean we can't call a special meeting to help speed up the process if we can. We knew right? Am I reading that wrong? In your opinion? Yeah?
Sorry, we were
No, you go ahead.
discussing it as well. Like, catch the question.
Well, in your opinion, is it the same as mine that when it says average, you're gonna take multiple measurements and average, the
Yeah.
overall average.
So what we would typically do is average.
And even moving it just a little bit towards I'll call it the dirt road, keep your tilt the same, angle. Drive a few stakes, but are they still using? Can you read it one more time?
We also don't know where the ordinary high
Right.
water mark is.
That's what until we know the ordinary height. watermark. Every setback shall not be. Yeah, we still need to know this.
Can't really be beyond the stream banks.
It could be. Or it could be down in there. I think that's an important piece for us to know where that ordinary high water mark is. Because it might actually help you out. It might not be the top edge of the bank.
Most likely down there.
Even if it's the top edge, it's, a lot of it's.
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
up.
good.
But
Like I
knowing,
said.
but knowing where it is important to us, and important to me anyway, in order to.
No, because then we could actually, if we knew that, we could actually use that. So I'm not opposed to calling a special meeting if we can get a response from the DNR and find out. I guess, who determines, does it have to be DNR that determines ordinary high water mark?
Had it training, so we've different.
Is there any other alternatives other than the DNR?
I think we could go out and do a determination, but that would be pretty simple, I guess, if it's not super obvious. I don't think that we would feel comfortable deciding that.
I think I saw something where somebody else can do the measurements and stuff, turn that into the DNR, then the DNR has 30 days to make that determination. Which if they don't determine in 30 days, you know, what does that mean?
We could go out and take pictures of the site, because that would be more telling than looking at the aerial map and sending that to DNR, hopefully they'll pick us.
It's a busy time of year, but I could reach out to close counties, see, say no. People in zoning departments in other counties have done that.
Gosh. Because I think that's a critical part. of our decision.
And if the DNR comes out, we probably would ask them to make the determination if it's navigable or not. Every stream is presumed navigable unless it's proved otherwise. So if they come out and say it's not navigable, we don't need it.
I'd love to see them bring the canoe or kayak. As they get wedged between the two banks. They can't even get in with Creek water.
Habitable waterway. A habitable waterway is defined through case law as any waterway that has a defined bed and bank and on which it is possible to float a canoe or small watercraft on a recurring basis, Ordinary high water mark is defined through case law as the point on the bank or shore of a waterway up to which the presence and action of the water is so continuous as to leave a distinct mark either by erosion, destruction, or terrestrial vegetation or other easily recognized characteristics.
So we could definitely go out there and do our best determination and send that to the DNR if you're comfortable with that.
Let me read one more. The DNR Waterways Program under the Public Trust Doctrine and state statute has jurisdiction over permitting projects that propose impacts in navigable waterways below the ordinary high water mark. Wouldn't be messing with that at all. We're not in the stream, so. Okay, got a little more information there. I would move to table it, see if we can get an answer from DNR for them, and we'll get a little more information. I'm gonna come up and see you someday, Greg. So,
It might be worth getting Mike involved as well, because when I did speak to him, he has gone out and helped do some of the observation or whatever, reviewing this stuff. And he said he actually had to do the same thing for himself, shoreline.
well, and anytime you call write down the date and time. I do that when I order stuff because, well, I didn't screw that order up.
Yeah.
Somebody did.
Oh yeah, I got it on my phone all the times I call it.
Yep. So, and if we need to move up a meeting, if we can get some answers, not wait a month to help them in this situation to try and be in by winter.
I can double check with Miranda and the new county clerk if they know, but this is the public meeting portion. So we've noticed and brought it up so that the public could attend, so I don't think we would have to notice quite as far out for the next,
True.
for a follow-up meeting.
Right, we're all gonna call it pretty quick.
Right.
Yep.
I believe.
Yeah.
Check
Okay.
on that part.
So are we postponing or are we taking?
Postpone till the next meeting or take, I suppose you can do either one.
I don't see where it makes a whole lot of difference, really.
Does on how fast you can bring it back.
Yes.
Does matter. I think we would be better off to postpone to the next meeting and if the information is available. At the special.
Yeah.
To make the
That's
decision.
it. Did you get that, Jen? Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you table it, it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, it can be tabled
Would
indefinitely.
have to be noticed and everything.
Yep.
So as a side note question, just so I know for future reference. Just say they said no, it's not happening. What happens if we did try to rebuild on the existing building site? Does it pass or is it?
I would say we've got, well, we were using a highway down by me. The example that I gave you, that was a highway, not water, so.
Yeah. Go back to the water.
See any different than. We could build the same.
But it depends how, if it's within 30.
Yeah, and it may average outside of that. But yeah, we definitely need to know the ordinary high water.
Could you scroll down just a little bit? I saw something about existing. Yes, and I was looking at the maintenance repair replacement.
The existing principal structure is at least 35 feet from the ordinary high water mark. The location of non-conforming principal structure. E. Then it's E2. And it doesn't say average, it just says at least. So that ordinary high water mark is to play there too.
Okay. All right, yeah, we gotta get one more done before the 4 o'clock. We got 12 minutes, we're good. Also, we need to, do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Aye.
So, some more information.
Go to the last one. Greg, I'm gonna have to write your number on you. This weather continues, I'm just gonna go for a drive on the 88.
Okay, right.
Here's my file.
I got one.
We can all
I got one right in the garage.
Could have bought some on DW campus.
I
garage sale.
know,
Yeah, there's one right in the garage.
Thank you, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wish he would just answer because he basically might have made this meeting not even necessary. But apparently he doesn't have that courtesy, so
Well,
I'm busy too.
Find out.
Answer my phone calls.
find out from Mike who his supervisor is.
Okay, yeah,
Sometimes you go above.
right.
Thanks, guys.
Oh,
3463, Greg?
Yep.
3463?
we're going to the Richwood petition.
What's that?
I went to all these.
Oh, I know where they live. Neil, you wanna come up a little? Yeah. Well, and he's yeah, moving our air.
Yeah, it is hard.
that can go to our house. Like, go. Picnic procedure. Now, that's the way your hips and legs are going, and maybe a wheelchair. Dr. Wright even told us a few. While back, he says, hey, swallow the pride, put up a ramp. Well, right along with the ramp, it's gonna be a bigger deck. I did the measurements up there, from my surveyor's take, and what I came up with was down on the paper. Main reason is safety. We had the rescue squad up there 3 times in the last several years, once just before Christmas. And it started to get out of the house, that's protected down.
So I did drive on there, took a look. I don't have any concerns with this one.
No,
So I move that we approve this variance.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Variance granted. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it, adjournment. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh. Whatever.
All right. Yeah, we got public